Hi, and welcome back. So I just picked up 5 computers, and the previous owner told me none of them are working. They are dead. So this may be a big challenge. We're not going to look at all 5. We're looking at these 2. And I think this is going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes. Because I think this is, it's going to take a long time for us to figure all of this out. I have just put them on the table and twirled around them. Haven't looked inside. I know more or less nothing. I tried maybe an hour to go on Google and figure out what is it. Because this one is an NCR and this one is a DDE. More on the DDE. I will just give you a hint. It's a Danish computer brand. So why is it the same? Come back to that later on. So, cannot figure out what it is. I think it is called NCR PC810. This is where I need all the help I can get. Can't find any schematics, can't find anything about anything besides a picture of it looking something like this. So I need you, if you have seen this before, if you know anything about it, please write to me on my email or write in the comments about it, because we need to find information together. So let me briefly tell you about what I see. Obviously, there are 2 computers, and in the front, they are very dirty. If I look inside, full of dust bunnies and filthy, it's missing a lot of stuff. There are LEDs, obviously, on both of them, because I really think they are the same. So there's an on and off button here, there's something for a loudspeaker, hard disk thingy, and maybe a light, so that's maybe on and off, and there's a key thing over there. I think down here you can have a third items, maybe CD-ROM drive, maybe hard disk, maybe a tape drive, something, I don't know. This one seems to have been burned in with the marking of a school, so maybe we can take some of this away and make it more smooth like this one. If we have a look, they're big. They're kind of like heavy also. So if we twirl a little bit around them and end on the back, they're not the same, but I think they are. So up here, obviously, we have a power supply. We have some extra things that can be put in. This is most likely a serial port. And there are 8 slots in this. I will assume this is a 286. Accordingly to, if this is a PC810, it's an 8286 running at 10 or 12 megahertz. So that's what we see. There is a keyboard here. I don't have that keyboard yet. I have bought one on eBay. I don't have the DIN 5 keyboard because I collect Olivetti's, and Olivetti uses their own proprietary connector or PS2. So a keyboard is on the way. It's not the keyboard that's supposed to be with this. I hope an AT or XT keyboard from IBM clone will work with this. We'll see once that arrived. The difference between this one, which is the NCR, and this one, which is the DDE, it has this plastic cover. And if I look down here, almost the same. Just seems that down here there is a network card, which is not up here. But here it seems that there is a VGA card, maybe. Serial parallel, nothing here, but I see more stuff inside. And let me get a screwdriver. I think this is Velcroed, because if I look up here, there are Velcro stuff. So I think this one is with Velcro, and it's a little bit loose down here. So I'm assuming if I put in a screwdriver, we can maybe get it out. Yes, I think I'm right. There we go. There we go, and there we go. Yes, exactly. So it is the same, and this goes up here. So I will assume when we're done, if stuff works, we can at least build one computer that's nice. And if you go on this side, there's a little bit of rust and scarves, and it's still dirty. So that's the computer. I will take the camera closer later on, and we will have a peek inside what's inside it. But there's some bonus, and I think this is what's inside in these. So maybe this needs to be in there, or this is a third computer. I don't know. So let me take the the camera closer to, and we will have a look at the cards that's on the side here, and I will open up the computers and we will look inside the actual computer and see what's in there. Let's have a look what was in the box before we look at the computers. They're over here. I'll open them up afterwards. I just want to get an understanding of what it is that we're actually dealing with. I know it's all over the place right now. I think move this a little bit to the side. We'll take each board at a time. Oh, there was another bus bunny. This is obviously the on and off button for the computer. So I don't know. This is most likely for a third computer. And I'm not sure what this is. This is maybe something for crimping something on, but I can't right now see what it is. Okay, so it seems we are dealing with a computer on a card. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is our start today. This is the Intel 8286, and it says -10. And I briefly saw there, that's a 20 megahertz crystal. So obviously this must run at 10 megahertz. I will, after we've opened stuff up, ripped out everything, cleaned it, and so I'll go more in depth through all the cards, because I do not quite know what any of this is. Obviously these are the BIOSes. Why are the two leftovers? Is this high? Is this low? I'll make a dump on everything that I can get my hands on in the computers, and I'll put it on archive.org. So there'll be pictures and dumps of EEPROMs and so on and so forth. This one seems to be branded with NCR, and this says, what does it actually say? NCR 1986 006-35000404 CQ00870. This is another thing that's also branded NCR 1987, and this is also 06, but 3500447D and M477232. There's another NCR chip. So this must be the chip set up here, and maybe, I don't know. No, hold on, wait. NCR 1986 006 3500402 M477252. This is a clock thingy, but where's the battery? No idea. So is this DMA? This is maybe serial, this is an Intel, this is a Philips. But again, that's the CPU. This is the motherboard, or the black pane, or whatever we're gonna call this. So obviously when we open the computer up, this goes in like this, and here we have a computer with the CPU, and at least with some memory up here, and I'm not sure, maybe this is for COM ports or something, we'll see. Yeah. So this app obviously goes like this. Here we have the keyboard connector. This is the power, so it's AT power thing. Is there any dates or any? There's a schematics 017 003 7169 CNCR 1987. So, a computer. This is a combined memory board. I will assume 2 megabytes. Haven't looked into it. We'll go closer to afterwards. But as this looks like this looks like a game port, and this is a serial port. Or is this a parallel? I'm actually sorry. Yes, is this a parallel? And down here there's a serial. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure it out. Does it say anything about the brand? It does. Quad board. And it says Quad RAM Corporation down here. Besides that, nothing. So we'll have to look into this afterwards. So there's a memory for the CPU or the computer. This obviously is an MFM hard disk card. It looks like the IBM stuff, but there's no IBM branding on it, but it really looks like a copy of it. Nope. Adaptec Incorporation BIOS. Oh man, I can't almost see 401-402-00A 1985. So, Adaptec. But besides that, not sure it says anything. No, there's nothing in the cell screen. Yes, there is. Down here, sorry. Adaptec Incorporation ASUS ASSY, and then it's 401406-00 revision C. Hard disk controller. The last one is then, I can see from the distance, this is the floppy disk controller where you put the floppy disk cable in here. And does this say anything? There's an Intel CPU, Intel chips up here. But besides that, sorry if you can hear some noise. It's raining and windy outside, so I think maybe that goes through. But there's a huge number down here. Don't want to mention that one. But besides that, there's actually no names or no branding of it. And there's an external connector for floppy disks. So if you had another casing, like the IBM PC in good old days, you had the same card, just IBM branded, and then you could hook up a box just like the IBM PC, where there were 2 floppy disk drives in it, so you can extend this with other floppy disk drives. This is kind of like those cards. I will have to rearrange the camera once again, because the computers are so big. I think we'll struggle a little bit to see inside the bowl. I'll see if I can manage to get the camera further away, and then we'll see. So let me arrange everything. So the computer's on the table. It's big. Everything is in the camera. I can't get the camera further away, but nevertheless. When I looked in the back, there's supposed to be screws in the back. This is the NCR. They don't exist, so I'm assuming I can just, I don't know, this way? Yeah, maybe. Let's see. As there no hard disk inside this one, I'm no problem banging on it. There we go. Let's do this. And all I see is October 27, 1988, DIMAC. Let me take this to the side. That's heavy. And now we can have a look inside the actual computer. Power supply, obviously. There's the motherboard. So it looks, it's exactly the same as the one we just looked at. There's the CPU card. Something floating in here. Something sitting up here. This is, that's the card. Okay, so these are most likely supposed to be sitting in this one, so you can extend it with more. And yeah, we will not be using this, but this is just serial and parallel. Over here, this is the one that I thought was an VGA, from looking at it outside. And we need to see OT, I can't even see. I'll have to show it like this, because I can't see it from here. It's an Oak Technology Incorporation, so it's OT, I think it's called 1078. I'm not sure, I don't know anything about this one, but it must be VGA at least. So there's a 16-bit VGA card inside the computer. And that's more or less it. So let me find, no, this is okay. So there's obviously something from here down to the board. And if I'm not mistaken, this is most likely the keyboard connector, because it sits right next to the keyboard. and there's some cables down here, which seems to, if I look at it, seems to go into the front. So this is most likely something with the loudspeaker and the lightings in front of the computer. So let me take them out. There are markings on them, and just for my insanity, this one is the one below. I know you can't see it. It was sitting, hopefully you can see it down there. So blue is down. This is called J4. This is the one on top of sitting like this. This one is then called, can I see it? J3. And red was down. So it was like this, which should be able to pull this out like this. And here we have exactly the same card, right? Almost. Let me find the other card. When I say almost, they're identical, I can see that. But the chipset, this is the one that was in the case, which is NCR, NCR, and NCR. This is VLSI. This is NCR, and this is NCR. So this one has changed between the two. And this BIOS that was in the case was the version 4.6. And what is inside this computer is the BIOS 4.7. Did I say 1.6? I mean 4.6 and 4.7. Obviously, I'll take dumps of all four of them and put them on archive.org. So I need to strip more things down. We need to figure out to take the motherboards out. I see a few screws. 1, 2, 3. I think that's it. And then maybe we can, yeah. Let me find a screwdriver and let's take this one out. This one is broken. Let's see. This is completely messed up. So whoever played with this motherboard or computer, they, yeah, I have no comments. That's a struggle, but I have been using some of this. This is for rust and all the stuff that could be when you, for instance, need to screw out a screw. So I put that in and I wiggle it a little bit. So now I think it's, yes, there we go. I get it out. So there we go. Oh, do we do this? There we go. So the same card. This one though has some numbering on it down here, and I have no clue what this is. But then again, it's the same. Absolutely. Needs to be washed also extremely dirty. There's the date mark on it. Yeah, 1987. Okay, power supply, I guess. Oh, that's a floppy cable. Let's take that out. And power supply, that would be in front. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. I think it's gonna be another challenge. Let's quickly screw them out and have a look. There we go. And there's now a chopper outside, so it's gonna be a little bit messy, but there we go. Okay, so what I think is gonna be the problem right now is that this is an on and off button, and I think this is connected directly to mains vault. Because if I look in here, let me turn my cap around, it's not in the way. There's a cable down there with a cable tire, which I need to cut. There's not much room in here. Let's see. Come on. How did they manage to do this? There we go, I think. Whoops. Yes. So there's a cable this way out of the power supply. I think it's loose now, right? Yeah. So this cable, we need to figure out to get that out of this So yeah. Maybe this is not so interesting for most people, but as I have not found any information about this computer, not even on YouTube, I think it's important for just documenting how to take this computer apart. So I want to spend some time on it. Remember, you can always do my videos in fast mode here on YouTube. I usually do the same. It's at least 1.5 speed I do when I look at other people's YouTube videos. Sometimes even faster, like 1.75. So it's easier for me to watch a video. But there we go. Okay, so let's focus. So 0, 1, which is off and on, I'm assuming, and on 0 or off, the white cables are there. And let me turn the power supply a little bit around. There we go. So we can just take these crimps out. So white is on the left side, which is towards off, and the black one is on. And yeah, let's just take it out. Let's see if we can. So there's the off button. I think the power supply can come out now. One piece of power supply, which we obviously need to have a look inside. I don't see any rust, but I see there's some dirt inside it, so we'll have to have a look at that afterwards. So 4 screws for the power supply, 2 screws for the on and off button. And what do we have? Do we need to take the rest off? I don't think so. All the cabling against zip tied down here. So let's see if we can figure out. So the J4, this was the one that was blue on the bottom and the lowest one. And this one was the red one on top. So the blue one, that cable, there's a orange and a brown one, and I can see there's a speaker in here. There's a speaker. So brown and orange, these are speakers. The 3 other ones, so that's the blue, yellow, and green. Let's have a peek. If we look in here, that goes to all 3 of them. Yes, that goes to the loudspeaker. Okay, so the J4, which is the lowest one, is related to loudspeaker and volume control. That's this one. And just to, so this was the CPU card. It's what goes there. So blue went on the top, and this went, I think it's keyed. It is keyed. So it went here. So, and it's even marked, okay, sorry. It's even marked speaker. This one, which is the other one we'll have a look at, it says keyboard switch. Let's see what that means. So let's locate that one. That was this one, which then had 2, 4, 5 ones. So this is the J3. And if we look at this is very strange. Okay, so yellow and green, so these 2, this is going to be difficult. They're going to the locking mechanism. So when this is locked, this is activated, and if it's unlocked, which I hope it is, then it's deactivated. So it's not a key to lock the cabinet, it's a key to lock the actual computer. Maybe turn off, or maybe locking the keyboard, you can't do anything, or I don't know. So that leaves us with 3 other ones, and those 3 ones, they go underneath here. And what is this? Okay, it just goes in and goes out, and it's this light, which makes no sense. Why are there 3? Weird. Very weird. But let me just see. Does it hold 3? It does, yes. I know you can't see it, but for some reason I cannot tell you why there are 3. Well, I can. So there must be 2 different kinds of colors within this. This is the on and off, I think, but maybe this is turbo or normal. It could be like that also, most likely actually. So the rest, there's one here that was just floating around, was not hooked up to anything, so that's going to be a challenge. This is called J6-1 or J4-1 ESDI, which is this one, which I will absolutely assume that this is hard disk. It is, because if I look at the other computer and I take the lid off, I can see the icon down here is light, and this is a hard disk icon. So this is to connect to the floppy disk controller, this one. There we go. I think we sorted out the cables. This one, I cannot tell you how to connect this serial connector because it doesn't reach to the actual CPU board, so I am struggling understanding where this goes. I noticed neither on the CPU card nor on the board, expansion board, whatever, there's a battery. And I see a Velcro in here, so I will assume, I'm not sure you can see it. There we go. So in here there's a Velcro. I think this is where you hook up a battery, and this must be able to be connected somewhere. So it's not over there. It was not over there, so it is most likely these 3. We need to find some schematics and see if this is for battery. That's my bet. This is for battery. Cool. What do I need to do now? I will clean everything. I don't want to show you all of that. I'll just clean everything, figure out to take the lights out and stuff, wash all this down, do my coating so it doesn't rust. If there's anything I need to, yeah, it doesn't seem any rust, but if there were, I'll fix all that. And once all this is done, I think I will then come back to you. Just one quick note is these are the bays. There are 2 bays over here and 3 bays over there. Just a side note on the casing, the date stamp of October 27th, 1988. There's a date stamp up here. That's November 09, 1988. So the casing is before this casing. The top casing is older than this. Okay, I just wanted to see what this is. The hinges for whatever you need to shove in here. Okay, so they just come out like this. Okay, so I need to take all of these out, and they are different. Oh, okay, so there seems to be 2 different kinds. So this goes in the middle, this one goes over here. So there are 3 in the middle. I will absolutely assume that these over here, let me just briefly look. No, they're not the same. There are 3 different. Oh man. Let me then also show that. Okay. So I hope whoever finds another one of these computers, they have all the screws, because there are 3 different screws. This one goes over here, this in the middle, and this over there. So there you go. Yeah. So I shall come back once I cleaned everything here, and maybe we should have a look at the other computer after that. Okay, it's day 2. I cleaned everything. Everything is pretty and beautiful. I just briefly want to open the casing up. So I cleaned everything. There are few scarves within the metal casing that I couldn't fix, but besides that, This case is beautiful. It's like new. And all it needed was a cloth and some washing cream, and then it was done. It was beautiful. So if I briefly open this one up, and I give you a little bit of a preview inside. It's all clean now, and the reason I just want to do this is because over there is the other one, and it's absolutely time for us to open the other one up. So let me move it closer to us, which is here. So again, it's the same machine. Nevertheless, just want to briefly talk about the cards that came in this pile. The Adaptec board, I did find information about it. I have already dumped the 2 BIOSes. It's called the Adaptec ACB 2070A. So that's this card. And I also found a little bit about the CPU card. This is supposed to be this special version called NPFR. I haven't really figured out what the difference. There are 2 models, and I only have this one, which is called Non-Power Fail Recovery Board Layout. Don't know. But at least I have a lot of information, schematics. I know where everything is on the board. So let's take all this away. I have cleaned all of these also, including all the cables. So that should be ready. So let's open this one up. Should be the same. And I haven't seen this inside. So it's gonna be, I'm assuming there's nothing in it, because that's the other computer, right? Very filthy and dirty. It's even worse than the other one. And I can tell you, it's disgusting. Let me we'll briefly do this. Damn. Sorry. But this is disgusting. But there's a board, and there's a CPU card, and there's also the network card I see now. And what is this? Oh, hold on a second, because when I was talking about this, I screwed out the hinges, which is, if we move this a little bit further up, these. I didn't know the brackets when we wanted to mount a drive in it. Seems this has a casing up here. Aye, nice. With explanation of how to, oh, this is nice. Original screws, and these are the brackets. I see I have 2, 4, 6, 8 brackets. This is amazing. Cool. So, obviously, I will rip everything out. Not going to show you this again. And I will clean all of this. So we have 2 complete computers, and now officially with 3 computers inside it. So 2 casing, 3 computers. I must assume at least one of them we can figure out how to make them up and running. So again, I'll rip everything out. Oh, hold on a second. There's a battery. I was talking about the other battery in the other one, that it's missing. It's in here. And it's up. Okay, let me find the other card. Sorry. So this is the CPU card, and I was kind of like wondering where would a battery, because we have the timer down here, the clock. So it's not over here, and I was saying it must be these, and it is. So this up here, the battery, absolutely goes here. So there's no doubt about that. So we have sorted that out. Let's just briefly, before I wrap it up, just want to see the BIOS version. This is the same BIOS version, so it's version 4.7, so I don't need to make a dump of that. Perfect. This is going amazing. I think we spent a lot of time doing it, but let me wrap it up. Let's have a tiny talk about what's happening. I'm very excited about these 2 computers. I hope the community will be able to give me a little bit more information about the computers. Do anybody have any software with it? Has anybody worked with them? I would say they are more like big companies would have these huge boxes. I even think that they would have been standing like this on the floor maybe. It's really, really beautiful. I am blown away about the aesthetics by this, even though I love my Olivettis. But I somehow love this huge computer with all the expandability that's inside this one. There are 5 bays, for instance, so 3 over here, where 1 is hidden down there, and then inside here there are 2, so that will be for hard disk and stuff that's inside it. It's quite a very exciting computer, and I like the concept that you have the board with the computer card on it. But, oh, wait a second. When I cleaned it, just want to say, there are feet something on the bottom of the casing, and obviously I also fixed all of that. So don't need to go into all of that. So what I need to do is make a break. I need to clean all of this, and then I will come back and we will try to turn on the computer. I think we'll try to turn on the computer in the blue casing, because we can do that on the table, and I'll find a power supply, just a regular AT power supply. The reason I'm not doing it today in this episode is because I think this is going on for a long time and I don't have the keyboard yet. Still waiting for a IBM clone AT keyboard to put into this computer, because I will assume if it was working, it will fail somehow because there's no keyboard in it. I don't know. But I just want to thank you very much for staying. I hope you enjoyed this intriguing computer. And obviously there is a lot of stories to tell about this branding of the computer compared to the original branding. Why did somebody, a Danish company, just stick a sticker on it? But more on that on the next episode. And again, thank you for staying. Thank you for watching. Please do this. This helps me heaps amounts, and make some comments. I would like to know, has anybody worked with these? How did the keyboard, for instance, look? I cannot find any pictures of a keyboard. What kind of monitor would you have had to it? What would the setup be? Where did you work? On what application? And so on. So please make some comments so I can get some more knowledge and investigate. If you have any software or any other documentation links to places that I need to know, please write me an email, because you cannot put links in the description, sadly, here on YouTube. So, for the last time today, thank you very much, and I hope to see you very soon. Goodbye.